Hello friends, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jen. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so happy to have you here. So for today's theme, I'm going to stamp the Goth Family. Where's my sim lovers at? So for the base color, I have used Paparazzi and Simply Lovely. It's like an off-white, but it has like a lavender tone to it. I was going to go with like a blue tone, but I decided this will go better like with all the other colors that I end up using. So what I want to do first is I thought it would be so fun to basically put them in like rooms of a house. So I used this plate the other day and I was like, oh, well, this would be a great way to be able to use the other images. So I'm going to start with doing this, and this is Pretty Fingers by Robin, Cozy, I think it was called Cozy Rooms. I will list the correct name of it in the description box. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead with Maniology's Acorn B498 for the pickup. And I originally knew I wanted to do like this family, and you know, it's kind of like the Addams Family vibe, but they don't look like them, so they're kind of their own thing. So I wanted to kind of still go with you know, like the Munsters, like their house is kind of got that gothic feel, so that's kind of what I'm going to try to turn this into. So I'm just going to start with this image here. Now I know all of this isn't going to make it to the nail. I'm choosing to go with these larger images because the shorter ones are not going to fit up and down for the nail. So I'm just going to use what we can off of this. And I don't like that pickup, so I am going to redo that one. Okay, and I can work with that. I forgot I was working with these thin lines. You kind of got to work the polish into those lines. Okay, so that one was like a study room. So I'm going to get this one, which is like a sewing room. Get this worked up in here. Okay, then we're going to get this one. I'm going to call this one like a kind of like a reading nook. Now you can also use sticky stamping polish. That can also help with when you're working with fine lines like this. So I don't like this one. Even though I worked the polish in there, it just didn't pick up great. So I'm going to go ahead and redo that one as well. Alright, and I'm going to make this one work. And then we're going to go to this part of the kitchen because it's got two different kitchen images. Now I'm also having to use, you know, plenty of polish to get into all those grooves. Then we're going to jump over to the bathroom image. Now I do like the piano image for this theme, but since we just used that the other day, I'm just going to go ahead and use this one. And I got to get this little bit of bottom portion off. Okay, so we're going to start with this image, and I'm going to color the book in with LA Colors Go Bright. And listen friends, I do realize that this is going to be pretty crazy to some, doing all the things, and you don't have to do all the things. I just think it'd be fun, and I hope regardless that you just enjoy at least watching, because I know it's a lot. Okay, and also I use the foil as my palette because I can use this side and then I'll flip it, use the other side, and then throw it away. And I learned that from GirlieNail66 here on YouTube, because it's just basically a more affordable way to do it, because if I used to try to clean off what I was using, you know, with my polish remover, and that you go through polish remover so fast, it just is not cost effective. So although this isn't a pretty way to do it, it is more cost effective. So that's why I do that. Okay, so I'm really going to focus mostly on the center portion of the images because most of those sides are not going to make it on the nail. So for the items on the desk, I'm going to go to a Maybelline Serene Steel. Now, of course, you could do them all in a separate color, but I figure it'd just be easier since I have, you know, several rooms to do to just keep this kind of the same color here. That one is my fault. I did get over a bit on that one. I'm going to try to fix that when it dries. Typically when it dries, I can just push it over. Okay, and I paused and did the bottom portion of that lamp as well. I don't think that arm of it is going to make it on. So, also I don't think it's going to really make a difference if I do forget to move that piece over because it's just, you're not going to notice it so much. So for the curtains and the rug, I'm going to pull in this Color Vibe Embrace. I decided real quick, I'm going to pull in my other brush. And I think this is a really pretty color. I don't use it often. I don't really know why. I don't think I'm going to need that outer section of it. I can hold it up to the nail and look here in a minute. And I'm going to do the other portion of the curtain and be back. Again, I'm trying to think dark theme. So I'm going to take LA Colors Mod and do the outline of the window. I'm having one of those nervous days for some reason. I've talked about mental health here before many times. So you probably know Sis has bad anxiety, but some days are fine, or at least better than other days, and today is one of those days that is amped up. And I feel like it's making me not do my best, but that's okay. We'll get going here in a minute. Okay, and I'm gonna do this portion and be back. Okay, and then I'm gonna do Candy Moyo 928 for the desk. Again, I'm going to focus on that middle section. Also, this line here on the window, I don't know what that is. I don't know if that was on the image itself or if something, my polish just stringed up. Now this particular color, it will dry down matte. I do not know why. It doesn't say anything about being a matte polish, but it definitely dries matte. So it is a bit sometimes difficult to work with. It's okay if we go over the book because that's already colored in. Okay, so I'm going to do the bottom portion and be back. Okay, so I was looking at that image and that line is on there. And I'm sure most of y'all know what I'm about to do. Color Vibe, Lunar, and we're going to color over that window. Just gonna take my whole brush and do it. And I like to do that just to make it look more like a window. And then I'm gonna leave the rest of it uncolored because the base color can kind of be like the wall color. Okay, for this image, back to Serene Steel for the items on the counter. This is that kitchen image. Again, I'm going to focus on that middle area. I'm looking to see what this is. I don't know what that is. So let me go ahead and jump to this piece here. This one's a blender, so I'm not going to color in that middle portion. Okay, I'll do this one and be back. Okay, back to mod for this window. This one is like a bigger open window, except for this top portion. Okay, I'm back to that blue. See what I mean? It's so super finicky. Sorry, I bumped you. Had to get more polish. This one is just not working with me today. Okay, just so you know, I have taken the brush itself and I just boop, and I went up a little bit with it to cover the rest of that counter. That just seemed to be the way it was working best. Alright, this time I'm going to go to Kenny Mayo 930 for the curtains and the rug. So this color is much darker than the other color I used. Well, it didn't really look as dark here, but it does in the bottle. I'll compare them here in a second. Okay, I'm going to do this one and be back. Okay, now I'm going to work on that rug. I'm only going to do part of it because it's not all going to be on the nail. And as you can see, it's kind of like a bit see-through, so I'm taking a chunk of polish and throwing it on there. Some of these you just have to do that. Also going to do that with the curtain because I can see a bit through it, and be back. Okay, and I've also done the same thing with the window and the blender. Don't worry, it's all going to come together. I know it looks super crazy because I didn't color it all and those colors are being finicky, but it's going to be okay once it's placed. Also, I was going to compare those colors for you. Oh, it is. You can tell, oh, there it is darker. Okay, so let's do this. Before we move forward, let's place one of them to make sure this is going to come together alright, because I know the colors is looking wonky. I have used LA Colors top coat to apply the images, so when it is tacky, I will be right back. Okay. Again, focusing on that middle portion of what I really want on there. Okay, so I do need to touch up this side because the desk did need a bit more painting. I think it'll be okay. Okay, so I'll tell you what I've done was was a piece I got over at the top. I have covered that up. I fixed this section that I should have painted more, which was the curtain and the arm of the lamp. And as far as the rug, this is just where it cut off. It wasn't because I didn't color that all in, so we'll be okay. Okay, so this image, I've already done the outline of the window. I have Serene still right now to do the sewing machine in the laundry basket. Or maybe it's supposed to be the sewing basket. Okay, so I've also done the top portion of that mannequin for the dress holder and this portion of the sewing machine that I missed. Okay, now I'm going to do the dress and the fabrics on the table in Funky Fingers. Let's see. Yeah, Dark Matter. This was just one I had picked up years ago from Five and Below. Thought it'd be pretty to bring in that color for the fancy dress. It's still a, you know, kind of a dark tone. This one I'm tapping on because it's kind of watery, because I want the blinks to show up. Now I can see I missed a little piece of that window pane as well. So a lot of times as you get into reverse stamping, then you'll kind of catch little things. So I'm going to finish the cloth and be back. Okay, so for these curtains, I'm going to that darker red, and I think I was already fixing to start. I said, no, let me show them. I think I'm just going to go ahead with the main brush. I think it'll make it a bit smoother. And then I can go and touch up. See, I don't know. Sometimes they do this. Yeah, okay. So I'll have to put more polish to make that not happen. And I'm going to put some on the palette so I can go through to do that bottom portion. Sometimes that'll work, sometimes not. Thought that was going to be a good idea, but I guess it was not this time. Okay, so I'll do that other side and be back. Okay, in the table we're going to stick with that blue tone. So I guess you get to see how I work through the problems when it doesn't go as expected or as planned, because art is not always going to turn out just right. And that's okay. It does not have to be perfect. But, my mistakes and my issues, just get recorded. But I want you to be able to see, too, that that's okay. It happens, and you just do the best you can. What was I also going to say? I'm trying to figure out, too, if this is like a whole piece of a table. Because it looks to be, like, solid. Because there's no, like, the legs are, like, little. So I'm going to do that part and be back. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to like that table as a solid. So I've just kind of made legs. And filled the basket in with the bling, too. And then there's, like, it looks like a wooden floor to me. So I'm just going to go with Sally Hansen Central Bark 616. That way there's a difference from that versus the wall color. And this one is one of my other finicky colors. It's very watery. I like the color itself, but it is watery. So I always got to put extra. So I'll finish and be back. Okay, and I've also finished that window off. So hopefully once it's placed, that crazy looking red tone will blend better. But y'all know me, I gotta keep those same colors going throughout. So I'm back to Serene Steel. Also sometimes we're our own worst critics. And it is hard since, with filming, putting when it doesn't work out there, but that's just real stamping. That's just how it goes sometimes. And working through that anxiety, friends. I'm trying to kind of figure out what is all this. Okay, I know this is stairs, and there is something here on the chair. We got a mirror. I don't know what this little thing is up here. So I'm going to work on that mirror and be back. I had to hold my breath on that one. It was a little mirror. Okay, so I'm back to that blue for the chair. Okay, it's kind of something leaning over. So now I guess I got to get that gray back out. So I'm going to do that one gray and finish the chair with this color and be back. Okay, I did those legs in mod, and I colored in that the center part of the mirror. Going back to the brown tone for the floor area. And I am going to do that situation again, otherwise it'll take a long time. Thinking about doing this on the stairs as well. And I was going to mention, I have been trying to work on the channel, and I've added more to the playlist, and I'm still up in the middle of adding more things, and I have like a one that's like my favorite, personal favorites, and there's some I wasn't quite sure, I couldn't decide. So I went ahead and added them so I wouldn't forget, and then I can kind of decide later if I want to remove any or not. And I've done Halloween, Christmas, Easter, and spring. Some of them are kind of together just because I knew it was going to be a lot if not. And trying to decide on these thumbnails if I need to I don't know if I need to leave them plain or I need to be adding these things. So been trying to figure things out because she's been stuck for a bit. The channel isn't really growing, which, I mean, if that's okay, if that's the way it is, it just is. But if there's something I can do to help, then I'm trying. Okay, let me finish this and be back. Okay, real quick, look what happened. See, now sometimes this happens, sometimes it don't, and I do not know why it does that, but some colors do that. So when that happens, I tend to apply a thicker amount, and then it usually fixes the problem. So just wanted you to know. Okay, for the baseboard, I applied Go Bright, and I still don't know what this thing is, so I just decided to, oh, look, it did the thing. I just decided to go ahead and put it in gray. So I'm going to fix this little thing again. Alright. Yes, I know that looks so crazy, but again, once it's placed, hopefully it'll all come together. Okay, so I was just kind of looking to see what I'm going to get on the nail, and I think it's going to be okay because I'm mostly, again, focusing on that center portion. So much of that crazy part won't even be on there. Okay, so I've gone ahead to start this image off camera because I haven't even made it to the family yet. So I was trying to save you some time. Done all the same colors, same general thing. This one's going on the pinky nail, so it's definitely not going to need all the entire image. Okay, so the tub portion's going to get that blue. But, like for me, if my channel, with it not growing, of course, that gets me in my head and I'm like, what am I doing wrong, or what can I do or change? And I've done all the things that I know to do and that I've tried to research. And I'll get these, like, I was just telling somebody, I get these random emails from these, I guess it's like people that basically they want you to pay them to fix your channel. And of course I'm not going to do that, but they're like, your SEO is done incorrectly. And I'm like, my what? I don't even know what they're talking about. So I've done all the things I know to do. But I really appreciate the community that we have here because y'all's the best. And I really love you guys because y'all are just so sweet. And I appreciate you so very much. And I'm just going to leave this image at this point because, again, it's not all going to make it on there. So I can see through that blue. I'm going to touch that up and the rest I'm going to leave it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get the sewing room on here because I need these all placed before we get to before I apply the family anyway. Trying to concentrate. I do want that dress on there. Okay, so let me see. Alright, so I am able to go ahead and peel it. So I'm going to do that and then I'll come back and show you. Okay. Okay, we're going to get that crazy one placed. Trying to focus on that center, and I'm being very slow about it, so make sure I get it where I want it. Okay, I'm going to have to set this for a second so I can go ahead and get this other one placed before it dries. Okay, then once I got everything peeled off, I'll come back and show you. And there is the kitchen one. The reading nook. Much better now. And last image is this one for the rooms. Okay. Okay, so once it's peeled off, I will come back and show you again. Okay, there's the bathroom. Now, I am still going to add the family, and thankfully there's not as much to reverse stamp on those, but let me just show you the rooms themselves. So, although it started out a mess, it is coming together. Just had to work through the process. Okay, now, the family is from a black cat stamping plate. I believe it is called Halloween Family, and it comes with this paper, or this clear thing so you can see. And I thought it was really cute. And originally I wasn't going to do like this whole room theme background. I didn't really know what I was going to do at the time, but I don't know. I just felt like doing it. So I'm going to get a mom, dad, and I think it's 3 kids. So let me get into that. Okay, so I got to decide if I'm grabbing the small people or the big people because they have one of each. So let me grab the big dad and see how that's going to look on the nail. Okay, yeah, I'm going to keep the big one of him. And again, there's not a lot to reverse stamp. I'm going to get this boy here. To do this girl. I'm going to do the mom. I'm pausing to get the extra off to show you. And let's do this girl, but I think I'm going to do the small one on hers. Because hers seems a bit larger than the others. Hers has a broom and a hat. Okay, so it looks like only his face, hands, and shirt are showing. So for his shirt, I'm going to New Color 997. And let's match him in the boy's outfit. So I'm looking to see what all he's got. Hold on, please. Okay, so he's holding something. I don't know what it is, but the dad's holding something too. Oh, there goes my little brush. This is pretty much my favorite brush to use, and so it's frayed, but I keep going with it. Okay, so whatever it is he's holding, I'm going to do Candy Moyo 937. Or whatever this is hanging on him. I can't figure this out. Okay, and I did whatever the dad is holding as well. He's holding 2 things, but whatever this one is, it's not colored in as to where this one is. So I'm going to take Sally Hansen Instant Dry and Instant Coffee 138 for the rest of them. And to save time, I'm just going to do that off camera and be back. There's Dad. Actually, it looks like he's holding a critter on this one side. And the boy. Okay, so Mom don't have any much to color except her skin that's showing, so that one's done. And the swirl thing is a part of the image. I guess it's supposed to represent like she's swiping or something. It is on the plate though. And for the girls, I'm taking Go Bright for like this one on the bottom of her dress. And then she's holding something, so I'm going to come back to her little thing. And then this one, I went into the wrong polish. For her dress, and then she's wearing a bow on her hat. Something's got on the pickup did get messed up with her hat. I do apologize. I'm going to try to make it work the best I can instead of having to redo it. Okay. So this one I colored what was in her hand with that same tone I used for the boy. And then this one I tried to self-fix her hat. I just got my Acorn and used my brush to try to pull it together. So now I'll apply them. Okay, so Dad is going in the bathroom because dads are always in the bathroom, right? The son is going to the reading nook. Okay, trying to decide for sure. I'll put him here. I'm trying to not completely cover the chair or the lamp, but may end up having to. Or it's going to end up covering. We'll put him here. Alright, let's get Mom on here. So she goes to the sewing room. The older girl goes to the kitchen, and I've just applied the same clear coat where I'm going to be placing the family to get it to stick over the already placed image. And then the young one is going to be with the book. Okay, the Goth family. So thank you for your patience with me. I know this was a very big one, a long one, lots of things. Again, you would not have to do all the things. You could just do the family. I tell you what, if you did your nails like with all the things, they would definitely be a conversation starter. So Mom's got she's in her sewing room. The little one's with the study room. The boy is in the reading nook. The older girl is in the kitchen, and the dad is in the bathroom, as always. So I know this one took a lot. This was a lot of time and a lot of steps. And I hope, even if you don't want to do anything like this, I just hope you enjoyed watching. And it does mean a lot to me for you to take the time to watch. So thank you for that. So what the plates I used, I will put in the description box. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And until the next one, have a blessed day, friends. Bye.